And a clearing sky tonight will allow temperatures overnight to get pretty low. We'll tell you how low coming up on KOMU 8 News at 10.
And I'm Sarah Hill, live in Kingdom City, where I'm surrounded by more than 65 motorcycle riders who've all gathered right here tonight to welcome home some American heroes. I'll have more how you can do that too in a live report.
Beauty over health. One study says cosmetic patients can cut in line, leaving clinical patients waiting.
Holiday shopping. Local stores are challenging national trends with bargains.
John Allen Muhammad, better known as the D.C. Sniper, left the Washington, D.C. area in confusion and chaos. But tonight, he dies cold and calm. KOMU 8 News at 10 starts right now.
From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 10.
Some would say justice has been served as the D.C. Sniper is executed. Good evening. I'm Angie Bailey.
And I'm Jim Reek. Thanks for joining us. 8 Missouri death row inmates say justice was not served in their cases. With more, KOMU 8's Jordan Vandenberg joins us here in the studio. Jordan?
John Allen Muhammad took his last breath at 8:11 Central Time at Greenville Correction Center in Virginia. And it's a moment that took more than 7 years, nearly 150 witnesses, and 400 individual pieces of evidence. Juries in both Maryland and Virginia convicted Muhammad on 7 counts of murder. In total, Muhammad and his 17-year-old accomplice, Lee Boyd Malvo, confessed to 17 murders in 6 different states. Their killing spree lasted 3 weeks in October of 2002. In a last-ditch effort for a stay of execution, Muhammad pleaded for clemency from Virginia Governor Tim Kaine. Kaine denied that request. Prior to being executed, Muhammad's attorney described his client as fearless and says he died with dignity.
We deeply sympathize with the families and loved ones who have to relive the pain and loss of those terrible days.
And while much of the focus of an execution is on the person being executed, 8 Missouri death row inmates filed a lawsuit challenging the training and competence of those doing the executing. A federal appeals court ruled the state's execution team is qualified and does not pose constitutional issues. However, the Missouri Supreme Court will not proceed with state executions until another federal court reaches a final decision. The state has not had an execution since May while the courts deliberated that legal challenge. Angie, Jim, back to you.
Jordan, thank you very much.
Let's check in now with Dave. You say it's clear skies out there.
Well, it's clearing anyway. We probably have a few lingering clouds, but we're going to see the conditions improve during the overnight hour, but that's also going to allow temperatures to get pretty low tomorrow morning. We're looking at a clear scan of live Doppler 8 first alert radar, and our forecast for the nighttime hours, as you might expect, is partly cloudy. It will become that way a little later on if it isn't already. Temperature getting down to about 40 degrees. Some areas in mid-Missouri tomorrow will probably be in the upper 30s, so might even be a little frost on the windshield. We'll have the full report coming up in a few minutes on KOMU 8 News at 10.
Thanks, Dave.
You bet.
Police called an end to their activity in downtown Jefferson City after spending the day responding to what they thought was a hostage taking. Around 10 o'clock this morning, police got a call from an alarm company reporting a hostage situation on the 5th floor of the governor's office building on Madison Street. The alarm company says the woman who told them another woman heard a PA announcement saying someone had been taken hostage. Police closed Madison as well as parts of East High Street and East Capitol Avenue. They evacuated more than 150 workers. Police confirm there never was a hostage situation. They don't know exactly what did happen.
At this point, as I said, this investigation is continuing. We have every reason to believe that the individuals in the building acted. They thought what they thought was an actual hostage situation. But we're trying to determine where the initial report came from.
Again, investigators are still trying to determine what actually happened. No one was hurt.
The much-anticipated video game Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is causing controversy locally and across the country. Call of Duty hit shelves at midnight this morning. The video game contains very realistic violence and terrorist attacks. However, that did not stop gamers from standing in line all night waiting for their chance to protect the country.
I started playing it last night at midnight. I kind of took a break around 6, and then I came back at 11, so I've played it for a good like 6-7 hours.
Call of Duty retails for about $60. It's compatible with the PS3 and the Xbox 360 game consoles.
Tonight, the Central Missouri Humane Society Board nominated a committee to look at the adoption policy change. The committee must draft a report that looks closely at the guidelines. The draft is due December 8th, but the board did not make a deadline for the final report. One person attending the meeting says she hopes the committee looks at the pet's best interests.
We might even be able to go yet a little further to be sure that the mission statement is being carried out by the Humane Society and that the #1 focus for these pets that get adopted from Humane Society is to be absolutely sure they are going to responsible pet owners.
If the board says it makes the changes to the adoption policy, it should go into effect January 1st of 2010. With Thanksgiving fast approaching, that means the holiday shopping season is right around the corner.
That's right. In this 8 on Your Money report, KOMU 8's Chris Vallejos shows us how local retailers will prepare differently for the holiday shopping season than most business owners around the nation.
That sound has become foreign for many retailers. Economists anticipate that nationwide, many retailers will have up to 30% less merchandise than the last holiday season. Economists say the past 10 months of sales nightmares for retailers and an ongoing spending slump forced this year's change. But while the recession hurt business, local retailers stocked up.
I think we have more merchandise right now. We always, this is a higher time for foot traffic. More people come in for holiday dresses and such. So if anything, we always bulk up on our product right about now.
But they say don't wait for huge sales and encourage shoppers to grab what they want when they see it.
If it's for me, I'll wait. If it's for my family, I won't wait.
Although many retailers across the nation are reducing their amount of merchandise for the holidays, local business owners haven't made the same adjustments. Arnie Fagan says Cool Stuff has seen its best year in its 21-year history.
We're up enormously, and actually the momentum is increasing. In the last 3 months, it's meteoric. So we're really expecting to double our sales in the holiday season.
So local retailers and shoppers may buck the national trend and have a prosperous holiday season. Chris Vallejos, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.
And economists also say consumers shouldn't expect sale signs of 60–70% off this year. Shoppers may be getting started, but the gift-giving season is not yet in full swing.
Wouldn't think so, but a Sedalia church already received a special present. KOMU 8's Lindsay Hoffman tells us more.
Something out of the ordinary happened in the parking lot of the Amigos de Cristo Church last week.
I discovered in the parking lot adjacent to the basketball hoop bicycles leaning on the hoop. As I approached to notice the bicycle, maybe they were stolen or somebody had dumped it. I didn't know.
So he checked it out.
He called and asked if I knew anything about the bikes, and I told him no, not at all.
An anonymous gift for a congregation that needed it.
The church has about 60 members and continues to grow. Many of these members have a difficult time making ends meet, so this gift was a huge help.
Help that came just in time for one church member.
When she called and said my husband wrecked his car and I need a bicycle, I was just totally floored.
For some, these bikes provide a necessity. And for others, this gift brings new opportunities.
I don't have one, and I want to ride one.
The unexpected surprise has churchgoers saying,
wow. Wow, it's a miracle.
Lindsay Hoffman, KOMU 8 News, Sedalia.
Volunteers say they plan to use the donated bikes for future trips on the Katy Trail. So far, no one has admitted donating those bikes.
There's been an increase in skin cancer frequency in our practice. We're seeing it in younger people at an earlier stage.
Skin cancer cases may be on the rise, but can patients get in to see their dermatologist? This is KOMU 8 News at 10, coverage you can count on.
If you see a motorcycle rider out on the road tonight, chances are they're coming to welcome home a Central Missouri honor flight, and you can too. I'll tell you how coming up in a live report.
If you want to get a mole checked or a sunspot looked at, you get a dermatology appointment a month away.
Then again, some patients jump to the head of the line for an appointment. KOMU 8's Chance Seals reports on what's behind that wait.
A study of wait times for dermatologists says if you want to see a doctor, you better sit tight. But wait times aren't the same for all dermatology patients. In most cases, getting Botox trumps all other procedures. I talked to 2 Columbia dermatologists who say that isn't true for their patients.
It can be tough getting in to see a doctor. A study in the Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology says if you want to see a skin doctor about a changing mole, get ready to wait and wait and wait. The average wait time is actually 26 days. But if you want a Botox shot, it's just 8 days. That's 2.5 weeks shorter. So what's the holdup?
There's a shortage of dermatologists nationally. Also, patients have direct access to dermatologists for skin care.
Dr. John Despain owns Despain Dermatology Center and Skin Tuition Medical Spa, which focuses on cosmetic dermatology like Botox in Columbia. He says at his practice, clinical appointments always come before cosmetics.
They are seen on a priority basis within a few days. If they're a new patient, if there's the ability to put them in a new patient slot, they get priority over someone who calls for any cosmetic concerns, of course.
At Dr. Lyndall Perry's practice in Columbia, they treat all appointment requests the same.
We don't have, quote, cosmetic appointments.
Although Perry's booked through January, he says patients with skin problems can get appointments.
We have open appointments in 2 weeks with our newer staff, and they would take both a cosmetic patient, an acne patient, a wart patient.
Perry says it can be a challenge juggling business and patient care.
I'd like to think that I have sound business practices. I do schedule myself very fully. My staff would say too full. My patients would say too full. We pay attention, though, to the frustration of long waits.
With a heavy focus on clinical treatments, Perry says he tries to see as many patients as possible, often leaving Botox appointments for after hours. He says money is a benefit of his practice, but not the motivator.
My desire every day is to find every melanoma that's in front of me and not to miss that.
As for Despain, he likes biopsies just as much as Botox.
I view them as a complement to each other. And if I had to choose how to spend my time, be it out of enjoyment or profitability, they're pretty much equal.
Both doctors say there's certainly a demand in mid-Missouri for cosmetic dermatology, but most of their patients and profits stem from clinical work. In the meantime, if you want to see a dermatologist, the best idea is to plan ahead.
Coming up in just a minute or two, Sarah Hill will show you some veterans returning from an honor flight. Plus, a good-looking forecast is next on KOMU 8 News at 10.
Now, your live Doppler 8 First Alert weather with Chief Weathercaster Dave Schmidt.
And good evening. Here's a look at what it was like today over downtown Columbia. As you take a look at our First Alert weather sky track, or pardon me, day track. There comes the clouds. It's been pretty much a cloudy day all day long, and should have some clearing going on outside at the present time. Let's go ahead and take a look at live Doppler 8 First Alert radar tonight. As you see the sun setting on that day track image, looks pretty good with that time-lapse photography. Clear scan once again on the live Doppler 8 First Alert radar. Nothing showing up in terms of precipitation, although we do have a few clouds out there. It is 49 degrees. There's the symbol for just a few clouds. Our winds are out of the northeast at 13 miles per hour. Relative humidity, not bad at 74% of saturation. Let's go ahead and take a look at temperatures around the area. 56 in Jefferson City and the Lake. Sedalia just a little cooler at 52, and of course Columbia quite a bit cooler at 49, but not as cool as Kirksville. They're cool up in Adair County at 41 degrees at the present time. On the satellite image, we've mostly had to deal with the clouds today, although about midday, I think much of mid-Missouri had some spotty periods of light rain or drizzle that sort of moved out of the area pretty close to the lunch hour. Well, we're still left with just a few of those light clouds, but they again are clearing as high pressure moves into the area. That's always pretty good news for weather in any area. So we're going to be clearing, but with a clear sky comes a little more chilly temperatures for your drive to work tomorrow morning. Some areas might even see a little bit of frost, but the day tomorrow, Wednesday, looks really good. Again, high pressure's in control. Our next frontal boundary way out to the west, so we're going to have quite a bit of open sky, lots of sunshine and pleasant conditions when you consider this is November 10th, getting into the 11th, and we're looking at a high tomorrow at about 62 degrees. Let's take a look at what we can expect. There's the sky conditions you'll probably be looking at tomorrow. 61 degrees, Moberly, Glasgow, 62 at Marshall. It might be about 62 degrees also. Well, not might. I think it's going to be right on there at Fulton, Montgomery City. Centralia, 61, and we're looking at Macon with 61 degrees as well. Down by the Lake of the Ozarks, it could easily be a couple of degrees warmer at 63, Boonville at 62, and Jefferson City at 62. Here's a look at our live Doppler rate. First alert forecast, clearing and colder tonight. 40 for the morning time low. Some areas will be in the upper 30s. If you park outside, you may have to scrape a little frost. Maybe not, but maybe. 62 for tomorrow afternoon, mostly sunny and pleasant conditions. And then for tomorrow night, mostly clear and chilly, upper 30s in most mid-Missouri areas. Here's a look at your next 5 days on the extended report. That looks really good. Quite a bit of sunshine. Again, a few passing clouds. Look at the temperatures, though. 64 on Thursday. Friday and Saturday, mid to upper 60s, just a little cooler on Sunday. And Saturday and Sunday, we'll probably have to deal with a few more clouds. Here's a look at the rest of our live Doppler rate. First alert, 8-day forecast. Temperatures in the afternoon dropping off into the 50s. Our next chance of rain would seem to be Monday and Tuesday. There you go.
We like it.
Not bad.
It's a good streak we got going here. Thanks, Dave.
It's the final honor flight of the year.
Veterans travel to Washington and back to see their memorials all in one day. KOMU 8 News at 10. Coverage you could count on.
And your lottery numbers. Good luck.
Right now, a group of mid-Missouri World War II veterans is headed back to Columbia.
This after an incredible 20 hours on the Central Missouri Honor Flight. KOMU 8 Sarah Hill joins us live from Kingdom City, where the Honor Flight bus will pass very soon. Sarah, you've got quite a group there with you, huh?
Tell you what, I am surrounded by motorcycle riders, more than 65, I'd say approaching 70 right now, a sea of leather and bikes as far as the eye can see. These guys and gals are headed to the Courtyard by Marriott. We're in Kingdom City now. They're headed to the Courtyard by Marriott to welcome home the Honor Flight veterans. You can do that, too, by showing up at the Courtyard at 11:15 tonight. Bring your flags, bring your signs, and you'll get to see all of these Patriot Guard riders, Gold Wings, all surrounding the bus, all to welcome them home. Very appropriate for a Veterans Day. Mike Helm, who do you have here tonight?
Well, I'm with the Patriot Guard. We also have the Throttle Masters, and we have the Masonic group with us, and we have the Honda Goldwing Riders.
What motivates you to come out here night after night, honor flight after honor flight? This is the 7th honor flight to keep doing this.
Just to get to be with the veterans. It's just a wonderful thing. They love it, and they just get out and talk to us and thank us, and it's just great to be around them and around all these people.
How is that going to be to ride with about 65 other bikes on I-70 tonight surrounding the bus?
It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be a blast. All right, Mike Helm, thanks so much for joining us. Again, 11:15 tonight at the Courtyard by Marriott. Come bring your flags, bring your signs, and welcome home the last honor flight of this year. Back to you.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much. Very worthwhile cause for sure. Playoffs? You're talking about playoffs?
Something like that. That's what we're talking about. Next, well, some of us are. Next in sports.
Now, KOMU 8 Sports with Chris Trevino.
Hi, everyone. 1 week from tonight, the Missouri Tigers begin the new basketball season when they host Tennessee Martin. What will the Tigers do for an encore after that record-setting 31-win season that resulted in a run to the Elite Eight of the NCAA tournament? Well, one thing is for sure, there's plenty of guards to go around. The starters J.T. Tiller, Zaire Taylor, and Kim English return. Marcus Denman and Miguel Paul are back, and add freshman Michael Dixon to the mix. Dixon, highly regarded from Lee's Summit West, scored 10 points and had 3 steals in the Tigers' exhibition game win over Truman State last week.
I think the key is now just finding out his role and how he fits in with this basketball team, and and I can tell him what it is, but until you go out there and experience and play with these guys, and that's what we're working on every single day. But I think when you see them out there, He doesn't miss a beat.
So fun just being unselfish and hitting open guys for shots, throwing alley-oops and getting steals. It's the funnest way to play basketball to me.
Missouri expects 3 players to sign letters of intent to play for the Tigers this week. Tomorrow, Dallas guard Phil Pressey, North Carolina forward Kadeem Green are expected to sign, and Thursday, Rockbridge guard Ricky Kreklow will sign. Got my words out of order there, Skip. Hey, the football Tigers hope help is on the way. New Madrid High School defensive end Coney Ely has verbally committed to the Tigers. Ely is 6'5", 230 pounds, regarded as one of the state's top prospects. He helped New Madrid to a playoff win over Potosi last week. New Madrid has advanced to the quarterfinals of the Class 3 state playoffs. Playoffs? Did someone say playoffs? Are we talking about playoffs? The playoffs continue in soccer with the Hickman Cupies kicking off against the Camdenton Lakers. They're all lined up and ready to go. First half action for you now. And Hickman's Brian Wilcox delivers to Alex Holliday. Puts it in the back of the net. 1-0 Cupies. Camdenton's Jeff Dorhauer tries to give the Lakers an equalizing goal, but Hickman's keeper Chuck Wilson up over everybody to prevent that. Second half, it's Dorhauer with a second chance, and this time he scores, tying it up at 1. We head to overtime. Only took a couple of minutes for the game-winning goal, and it came from the Hickman Cupies. George Plakaris knocks it in, screened by the official, but he scored, and oh, George. Well, the pros do it too. You see why these guys end up taking their jerseys off. Oh, those crazy soccer players, Angie, I don't know. Did someone say soccer? Columbia College and Hannibal LaGrange at the collegiate level are Marvin Owens Field, and it's a tough scoring night for both teams, but Columbia College finally on the free kick gets a goal. First goal and only goal of the match. The Cougars win 1-0. Dylan Barduzzi put it home, and Columbia advances in the conference tournament. Meanwhile, busy night on the CC campus. College volleyball. Stevens visiting Columbia. Maria Omandi with the kill there. She's playing with a sprayed knuckle. Didn't seem to bother her. There she gets another point for her team, and Columbia rolls in 3 straight games over Stevens to advance in the conference tournament. William Woods and Park in that same conference tournament, playing on the Woods campus over in Fulton. Jameen Kisanovoid with the kill in the first set for Park, but William Woods comes back. Jessica Doak with a block. William Woods takes that first set 25-18. Second set, it's Lauren Fleming with a block for William Woods' point. And William Woods wins the second set 25-18, takes the third 25-20, and William Woods wins 3 games to none. So William Woods and Columbia will meet in volleyball tourney play later this week in Columbia. That's sports. We've about covered it. Scripts are all out of order, but I think I've read through them all, folks, so I may as well send you back yonder to Angie and Jim right over there.
And welcome back. Another look at our live Doppler 8. First alert 8-day forecast. It's good. Look, Wednesday through the weekend, actually. Looking good. Lots of sunshine, temperatures in the 60s. Our next chance of rain probably on Monday and Tuesday of next week.
Teens and young adults shared their stories as part of a conference kicking off Homeless Youth Awareness Month. The speakers were all residents of Soul House. That's a shelter for teens. Samantha Summers helped found the Soul House for youth. It's for kids 16 to 21, using it as a traditional home, or transitional home, rather. 8 young people live there now, and there's a waiting list of 34. If you'd like to get involved with helping with Soul House, you can find more information on our website at KOMU.com.
Very nice.
That's a cutie there.
Sure is. Did you you got your scripts in order?
I got them in order. I just didn't get my orders in order. I was supposed to pitch to a break as opposed to back here.
Could you put mine in order?
Yours are kind of messy.
Holy smokes, look at it.
That's my problem. I didn't get any scripts.
There's a shot of that honor flight, folks. Have a good evening.